Hi. This month is I Am Blessed is the topic. And I'm going to walk us through a prayer to start, and then we have a meditation here as well. And I thought we might use the bells for meditation today. We'll see how that goes. But if you would, the prayer's on the paper, but if you would like to just close your eyes and feel it, that's great. Or you can follow along on the paper. We come this morning in commonality. We understand there is a grand design. We understand love permeates everything and everyone. We understand the choices we make to feel, know, and love all govern our own understanding of our human experience. We choose if we feel the love of the universe is surrounding us. We understand that it is through our choices and actions that either spreads or doesn't spread the knowledge of the love we know. We are grateful to Spirit for this understanding. We are grateful for the time we are in. We are grateful for this space and for the opportunity to share with others, recognizing the journey. We are grateful for those who have chosen non-recognition in this travel, this existence, offering service to others as a reflection of their own experience. We are grateful for the opportunity of growth and change within unconditional love. And we are grateful for the opportunity to share and grow with others. We acknowledge that Spirit and love are the same. Amen. So a lot of today, the notes you have are from a journal I kept from when I did a talk in February 2013 in another church. And I actually had grabbed that journal to write down notes for today, and I couldn't get past those pages. So it's time to revisit those, which actually feeds into the idea of being blessed through the experience, because you can revisit any experience and any thoughts and know there was a blessing in there, and that it can reflect in today, and you can tweak it. You can always tweak what you knew, in this case, what I wrote in that 5 years ago. And it reminded me also of, there's a site, a blog, and a lot of it's through Facebook, but there's a website as well. It's called Humans of New York. Is anybody familiar with that? Great. The gentleman that runs that site, his name is Brendan, and he started off just in New York. He's a photographer, and also he's great at getting people to talk about just about anything. So you'll see a little photograph, and then you see just a quote from his conversation with them. And it's always interesting, the perspectives and where people are in their life, and how there's actually zero judgment. Now the comments sometimes, but from the author himself, there's zero judgment of anything these people say. He just takes it and accepts it, and of course he asked if he can share that. And he's taken that idea from New York, and he's been traveling all over the world. So in the last couple of years, I've seen him do many different countries. And a couple months back, he visited refugees from the Somalia Civil War and showed the point of view of refugees and people living in really, really just not nice conditions. And their stories from when they got there. And some of these people, my goodness, the war broke out, and they were, very young, and now it's like 10 and 15 years later, and they're still dealing with repercussions. But within his blogging of their stories, what I noticed was there was no blame anywhere. It was a recognition that these people were having this experience, and in some aspects they needed help with the experience and what was available for that. So he started a little fundraiser to allow for people to purchase and build bamboo houses because it's getting close to monsoon season there. And they were going to be in worse shape than what they are now because of the mud and the rain. So again, the response was, let's not blame this person or that person. There is a situation and an experience happening at present. And what can we do that shows that we're blessed even in this kind of situation? And he reached out through his blog site and said, I set up this. He even showed the people that were directly involved there to show that they were going to take charge of the monies themselves and build, and he showed the process. And it was, for me, that was amazing that you can take something so heavy and these stories of people that are in this situation, and they were very honest. I would suggest anybody go check out his site. I mean, right now I think he's in Australia, but it's really just everyday people that he meets and has a conversation with. But to know that there's blessings in everything, and that there's can be no judgment in the experience at present. You know, even how we chose to get there, even the choices, because some of these people were talking about choices they made to leave people behind and run, you know, and then the guilt that they're dealing with. And yet, at that present moment, there was a blessing surrounding the fact that somebody was listening to them, that they were alive, that they could share their story, you know, and there was no if, then, and buts. It's just the now and the experience. So, you know, how do we translate that into ourselves? I mean, we're not living in mud and tents. You know, we're not worried about where our kids are going to go to school and if they're able to go to school. You know, we have different sets of experience here, and yet the experience is still very valid. It's extremely valid. And in this room, we all recognize that there's a journey, and you recognize that you're connected in some form, and you recognize that love is present in that form and the blessing is present, and that we get to choose that on a moment-to-moment basis. And you're blessed because of that. But the people that are walking around that don't understand that are also very, very blessed, and their experience is just as valid. And to have the conversation all over the world with any person and to understand that is a huge gift. You know, again, I would strongly suggest you just go check out the site, because what he is doing for the rest of the world is amazing to show that it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because some of these people really don't understand, or they don't recognize, at least in that mini conversation, that there's a grander connection. They are in that experience right now, and that is it. And yet, to know that even when we feel that way, or you're still completely blessed, and the experience is valid, and we can still learn from each other. That you don't need to recognize the journey and recognize the connection to be that blessed. You're supported no matter what. And then there's a lot of, also, can you tell I've been on the internet a lot lately? I've been seeing a lot of people that write about themselves being blessed, and there's always a happy tag under it. I'm really blessed because of this A, B, C, D, E happened in my life, and they're extremely happy. They're extremely happy. And it's the idea of transferring that to when we don't feel so happy and know that we're still just as blessed. That you're blessed in the experience, no matter what you choose to feel in the middle of it. What we can choose, though, because sometimes whatever's happening is beyond our control because it's, you know, all around us. You know, maybe we can't control that, I don't know, the gentleman in the next didn't see the stop sign and you got T-boned or something. You know, that was out of your control. And yet, in the middle of that, you can choose whether we recognize the situation and move through it, even if there's some pain involved, or whether we choose to run down the road of suffering. You can choose the suffering or the not, despite anything that's going on. And in that way, that choice is the blessing. And whether you recognize that you're on a path or not on a path, or you're connected to universe or not, everybody has that ability to choose. And there's where the blessing is right in that choice. The choice whether to share some of the things that might seem less light and fluffy, you know, and then still share the tagline, I am blessed. Are you willing to do that? Or do we always have to show when we're happy and find the 20 that we're blessed? You know? Although that's great. That's absolutely great. That's actually happened to me twice this week when I put on different clothes. I reached in and there's, so you can tell it's getting to be different weather, that different things are coming out of the closet. But to also know that in the middle of, you know, the days when I get calls from both schools about both children because they're having a bad day, that there's still a blessing there. And to find the blessing and to choose to see it as a blessing. I'm going to walk us through a meditation right now and to allow yourself, again, just to allow the experience of the feeling. Allow relaxation. Allow the warmth of the room to permeate. Allow the feeling of the sun to glow around and within. Allow that warmth to melt away any tensions, cares, worries, any issue that does not allow full alignment of the soul to the universe. Feeling the warmth around the crown, the face, the neck, releasing and relaxing. Golden rays of sun and hope kissing the chest, back, and spreading throughout the body. Our legs, our toes sinking into the earth. Inhaling and noticing the spark of divine in the core of self. Each breath allowing a spark to grow into the flame and then into a bright light. Lighting the body, spreading awareness beyond and into blending of all that is. The universe is within, and within is the universe. Flowing, blending, becoming, and being. Allow yourself to sit in this awareness and blending for the next couple of minutes. Allow silence to be your friend. Allow the sensations of the room around you to be your experience. We are blessed. We're blessed through our own recognition. We're blessed through our experience. We're blessed through our understanding and non-understanding. We're blessed through our point of view and the point of view of others. If you're not back yet, just take a nice deep breath. Bring yourselves back to the room. Is in November of 2012, the poem that's below, that's when I found it written in my journals, and it seemed to fit very, very well today. The idea that no matter where we are, no matter what we understand or don't understand, is completely perfect for that time. Completely perfect. And that you can look back on those things and know that you were completely blessed in the moment, even if you can't right then. And know that that experience not only travels with you, but you can allow that experience to morph in its understanding of how much you were loved at that second. That there are no mistakes. That your choices are your choices at that time. And at that time, they were absolutely perfect for your experience. You're completely and totally surrounded by blessings of the universe at that time. I'll tell you, the poem was actually written when I took a picture. I took my kids down to the peninsula, and it was a nice November day. And the sunset was completely amazing. In fact, it was purple. It was a lavender sunset. And that the light of the universe unfolds for each of us, touching greatness both large and small. Light of the universe is knowing, gentle, and true, lighting the pathway, lighting the walk for growth, a light that never fades, a truth that always rings, binding all energies, all time, all love, feeling divine power, knowing divine love. Nothing is impossible. We are all able to fly. Thank you.